Well, now that I've got the powertrain running and I know it's good, it is time to remove it and get rid of the shell that I don't want at all. So yeah, step one is really going to be disconnect everything, draining the fluids, pulling the drive shaft, radiator accessories, all that kind of stuff. Then I will drop it back down, and I did actually get a picker down here with the shitter wags, so that should be good. Yeah, I don't know how much of it I will cover, but kind of just the basics of pulling a motor from a car. And of course I'll have to pull the hood off too, since it's in the way, backwards style, like E30s and E34s always are. So I've got this OE 18-inch BMW 135i wheel from a friend's car, and it looks like it's cracked pretty significantly. It looks like it's maybe even cracked all the way up to the bead here on the inside, or outside rather. But on the inside, not cracked nearly as far. On these, you don't really want to take any chances, so I'm actually going to drill stop all the way up here and then fill the rest of that with weld after I grind this out a little ways. But yeah, I'll be a little messy. So I have it drill stopped and I've got a little bit of a groove cut in and around it. So now my goal is to build up around it to a little bit more, and then I can grind it back down. Well, I ran out of gas, so there's unfortunately a teeny little pock right there, but there's no crack anymore, so I guess we'll see if that holds. I have the world's smallest gas cylinder, and yeah, it's cheek down. But anyway, seems smooth enough, so hopefully they'll be able to mount a tire on that without too much issue. The bead's the real question right here, and that should be completely intact. Starting with the easy stuff. Luckily, the petcock on the radiator I could undo by hand. It was going pretty slow, so I actually found the block drain, which is a 19 mil right up there, and I started undoing that. And that sped this up greatly. So I'm gonna wait for that to drain out, then the block will drain out. And then I can get going on the hard points. Unfortunately, I don't have any Sawzall blades down here, so taking this exhaust off is gonna kind of suck. I may just ream on it because it's really rusty and it may just break off. But I suppose I'll have to undo the O2 sensor, probably start undoing whatever bolts I can find back here. Doesn't look like there's much of anything, even though it is quite solid. Oh, there is one hanger right here, so to pull a 13 off should be doable. And I'll start pulling the Guiba bolts off, getting the shifter out. The rear drive shaft nuts are looking pretty crunchy, so I'm actually gonna hit those with PP Blaster right now too. So I did just ream on that thing by hand, and it's probably enough out of the way. I got it off, got the drive shaft out. I'm actually noting that this is a 373-210, so even though it's not an LSD, the gear set in it is worth saving for those E46 M3 guys and also the E39 M5 guys, since they're all the same size ring and pinion. Slave is out, reverse light switching is off, clips off, shifter mounts out. What I'm going to do right now is hop inside the car and pull the shifter stuff out. Then I'm going to pull the trans off bottom side just to make it a really easy lift out for the engine top side. I mean, these Bellhousing bolts are so insanely easy to get to on this car. It's a no-brainer. So that's my plan. Ideally, I'd like to have the engine trans out of this thing tonight, and I don't see any reason why that couldn't be very, very likely. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That was so easy. I cannot stress enough, if you are looking for your first BMW, you buy yourself a manual, small block E28, E34, or E39. So if you do that, you will literally be able to service one of these things with jack stands in your driveway with no cussing. It's so easy. I just literally reached the socket, put it on top of the Bellhousing bolt, backed it off, and that was it. So it's nothing like an E30 with a big engine like a 24 valve or an M30. Just easy, easy, easy. I think everything else we have is topside except for I'm going to do the ground strap, power steering pump. No air conditioning compressor anymore, but I'm definitely going to leave power steering pump in the car, undo the lower motor mounts, and then this ground strap right here. So those are kind of the three big ones on the bottom side that people usually forget when they're yanking a motor. So yeah, all the bottom side stuff is done. Super easy. Basically, airbox, radiator fan clutch, take the battery out, pull the harness so it's not in that thing anymore, pull all this crap out, set it on the engine, coolant lines at the back, fuel lines, and I think main battery. Probably coming from over there anyway. We'll just hoist this thing right out the side. I did bring a picker down here, and I'm hoping I may have to pull the hood yet. I left enough room in front where I can pull it and shouldn't have any issues, but it might be worth pulling the M5 out very briefly, just to not have to mess with this thing too much. So when I was underneath, I saw that this balancer, the actual trigger wheel, had a 89 325i paint pen on it. So I'm thinking this isn't the original engine anymore, or they had a balancer failure. The fact that it's got an E34 engine harness and stuff on it makes me believe that this still is the same engine that I'm used to from way back in the day, but either way, doesn't matter. This will be out in less than an hour. I gotta admit, guys, it has been a long time since I've just like ghetto pulled a motor in my garage. This kind of feels nice. What's even cooler is I didn't forget to disconnect anything. 100%. And I pulled it out the side of the engine bay. Hey, there's the old CPS just sort of doing its thing in there. There we go. Pretty cool. There's the M20B25. Establishing shot. Very empty engine bay, and the M20B25. I gotta get another one of these furniture dollies. I forgot I had this E30 325iX rebuilt trans on there. Man, this came out so clean. It's nutty. Well, I decided to go ahead and pull the diff, and I pulled the stubs too, because who knows if they're gonna flatbed this thing. E34 is ingenious how they have the hub set up that way. And then the diff, it took, I think, all of 15 minutes to pull all that stuff out. So, well engineered, but she's completely done now. So, I can clean up the floor just a little bit, get it pushed outside, and ready for its next owner. Well, there she waits. Bye-bye.